we want to welcome Tiffany Anderson. Thank you so much for joining us at I Hear That Girl. So Tiffany Anderson is a natural hairstylist, author of the books Hair Therapy Cures for Growing Your Beautiful Natural Hair. And also, I Love My Natural Hair. Tiffany is also a motivational speaker and founder of Tiffany's Naturals. And Tiffany also has a new product on the line called from Tiffany's Naturals called Hair Therapy Box. Thank you so much for doing this interview with us. And I have so many questions for you. So the first thing I want to start out with is, as far as we know that you're a champion for the natural hair community, were you at any point relaxed? And if you were a relaxed girl, on a scale from 1 to cremation, how burnt were your edges?
So I was a relaxed girl. I was a relaxed girl before I received information. And I was like, we all were like relaxed girls because it was pushed on us, from our parents trying to make our hair
Exactly.
manageable, but not realizing that even relaxers, the reason they're called relaxers because it is to relax the hair, not straighten the hair. So they are meant to just, make it manageable. But of course, we like to take it to the next level
Exactly.
and straighten it. And that's where the damage comes in. You know what I mean? And then putting it because, when you do when you're able to tame those curls, you're like, oh, this is easier. This makes, the process more manageable. So that's what we kind of went through. So yes, I was relaxed at a young age, and then I was also not relaxed at a young age.
Okay.
Yes.
So at what point did you make the transition from being I know you said you gained information. So at what point in your life did you go from relaxed to natural?
So when I was, I don't want to tell my age, in my early 20s, I became a professional in the beauty industry. And when I came into the beauty industry, I came in as a braider. And I really didn't want to be a cosmetologist. I wanted to be the best braider because nobody in my area was, braiding, and everybody would put me up like, Tiffany, you could do these braids, you could put names in it, you could do all of this stuff. So I was
Right.
pumped up. And so that was not like my first calling was to be a cosmetologist. I literally
Okay.
wanted to just be a braid. And I got intrigued with the other styles like the twist and all that kind of stuff. And this was like the early 2000s. This was the early 2000s before it became a trend.
Okay.
Okay,
Good.
so yeah, so before it became a trend, and that's where I was. I was like, oh, I want to do this. So in transitioning into becoming a cosmetologist, I wanted to enter contests. So all the contests that was being offered, like in the magazines, you had to be a cosmetologist. So that's what intrigued me to become a cosmetologist, but still wanting to keep the roots, the natural hair. So as I was learning about cosmetology, I also was learning more about our hair texture and
Okay.
natural hair because that's how I dealt with. That's what I was dealing with. I was dealing with people, and so the products that I was using for natural hair were not kind of consistent with the products for relaxed hair. So I started off using Dudley's PCA. That's a cream-based moisturizer that is like, it helps retain your natural moisture. That's where like real moisture. We even have PCA in our bodies, especially when we're at a younger age. That's why our hair is so beautiful when we're younger,
Right.
because it's like our body gives off a form of PCA, more moisture and things like that. And so as we get older, we lose it because we are doing more, trying to prevent and, trying to kind of like our face. You know how your face is so beautiful? Then
Yeah.
when we get older, we have to prevent pimples. So we have to use products that is going to prevent and help us glow that we didn't have to do when we were younger.
Right.
So that's the same with hair. You have to, the transition, because everybody's like, well, how did my hair go from this? It was so beautiful to this. And we have to think about, our lifestyle, our environment. We have to think about those things that
Absolutely.
take a part in play a part in, our hair. And
Exactly.
so like I said, for me, I was. And so for my mom, so this is interesting. So in my immediate family, I am the only one that has, like, maybe back in the day we would call it the coarser texture hair, the curlier texture. I call it the
Right.
curlier texture. My sister's hair is literally wash and go, wash
Yeah.
and go. So growing up with me, I was considered the girl, with the bad hair, like my dad.
Yeah.
And so that's when relaxers, but even like seeing my mom today and stuff, she was just trying to make my hair manageable, and we didn't have the tools back then, or the products, or the ingredients to know how to do that. We
Absolutely.
seen a look like you could have, like, see a silky ponytail. You didn't know how to achieve a silky ponytail. You thought the silky ponytail had to be a perm silky ponytail, not realizing that you were going to be contributing to tension, alopecia, breakage, all that kind of stuff. So
Absolutely.
absolutely had a relaxer. Loved my relaxer.
so
I'm not gonna lie. Loved my relaxers. I had the bangs, the TLC bangs with the
yeah,
little ponytail. You couldn't tell that was the trend back in the day. That is
absolutely.
absolutely how I rocked it. But as I became familiar with cosmetology, this is interesting. I became more familiar with cosmetology, wanting the license that was going to benefit in what I wanted to do with it, but not respecting cosmetology. Because
Okay.
cosmetology is the use of chemicals. And I was not trying to do that. Also, my first year of being working in a salon, because I got my license under a licensed stylist. I was an apprentice. I
Okay.
I got bronchitis. I got bronchitis in my first year of working in a salon, just from inhaling those
I was gonna
chemicals.
say the
Never
fumes, right?
smoked. Yes,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
from inhaling that. And
Wow. Yeah.
so,
That's wow.
isn't that crazy? And so,
It really is. Yeah.
even as I do women's hair today, like right now, I do a lot of mobile styles and stuff. And so with my mobile stylist, the women, they they wanted to not be in the salon all the time, because they have asthmas and allergies and odors, and was trying to prevent those kinds of things. So me transitioning to that, I was hesitant, but it was so received. People were like, yeah, I like the one-on-one service. I don't got to
Wow.
sit and
Yeah.
wait all day. I don't got to inhale chemicals. I'm not even using chemicals, but I'm still being exposed to chemicals.
Absolutely. Yeah. That
And
makes a lot of
so
sense. Yeah. I don't even think that people really thought about like how the chemicals are not just harming your scalp, but also with you breathing them in and everything, how it the damage that it's doing to your lungs, of course, your respiratory system, and all of those things. So
right,
yeah, I think
right.
that's a great point. Yeah.
Never considered it. So, like I said, I became, as I was growing and learning for the I'm growing and learning about cosmetologists, and then learning that I don't want to be a cosmetologist. Like, I don't even like saying I'm a cosmetologist,
Mm,
but I have to,
right.
because that gets me into the doors that benefits, people. And sometimes people think you don't know about, because see, cosmetology is the use of chemicals, and it's the use of, we have to know how to be safe and clean. Like,
Right.
if you wasn't using chemicals, you would not be exposed to a lot of those diseases and stuff, communicable diseases, we call them. You wouldn't be
Wow. Yeah.
exposed. Like, that's where fungus comes, all that. So we have to be taught to to be sanitary, and to not pass those germs on. When we grew up in families of five, we used comb and brushes, auntie, uncles. We didn't we didn't have
Exactly.
So that was sanitary. We didn't have to
Yeah.
be all washing and combs and brushes, but when you use the chemicals, that's where you're exposing yourself to.
Wow. So I mean, already we can tell there's so many benefits to being natural. One is that you won't be exposed to all those chemicals. So could you talk to us more about like what you perceive as being, or what you know, not even what you perceive, but what you know is being the benefits of being more natural?
Natural, oh my God, it's so your hair.
Right.
And so what I do, because I'm also a trichologist, that's the study of hair and scalp disorders. And
Okay.
so and knowing that and learning that, like, I'm a preventive person. So anything that I do, especially with hair, I'm just trying to prevent. I mean, if you come to me, you're trying to grow your hair, I'm looking at the rubber bands you're wearing, I'm looking at
Mm.
your daily routine, I'm looking at the products you're having, I'm looking at how often your scalp itches. I'm looking at how often you're scratching the way, because we associate patterns and behaviors with the wrong things. Like one of the wrong misconceptions is itching. We walk around patting our hair and doing these kinds of things because we see a lot of people doing it, thinking that is the correct way to do. Your hair is not supposed to itch. And if it's
Mm.
itching, it's talking to you. That is how it is speaking to you.
Oh, okay.
Literally. So look at it as this. If your hair itches, okay, that's the first way it talks, right? If we ignore the itching, it's going to start shedding, right? Okay, that's the sign of talk. So now
Mm.
it's about to
Okay.
talk to us through shedding, right? It done told us it itch, we ignored that. Now, because thinking it's normal, like everybody here is itching. Okay, so we're going to ignore why it's itching. We're going to ignore how tight it is. We're going to ignore it's not getting any oxygen. We're going to ignore it's not getting stimulated. We're going to ignore all of these things. So now it's going to start shedding. Okay. So
Mm.
now we're going to ignore the shedding because it already told us it was itching. We didn't say why it's itching. We're just thinking, oh, it's normal, right? Shedding. Okay. So we ignore the shedding, like, oh, it's shedding. Our hair is supposed to shed 1,000 to X amount of strands a day. Absolute myth.
Wow.
Absolute
Can you
myth.
say that again to people who think that clumps of hair is
Absolute
okay?
myth. Our hair is not supposed to shed. I don't even have 1,000 strands on my head. I am in the fine hair family. Okay, so
I
if
always
I
thought that
shed
was
a
weird when
thousand,
people said
if
that.
I shed 100 to 1,000, I'm going to be bald headed.
Oh, I always thought that was so weird when people were really going around saying, well, you're supposed to shed this much hair. And I was like, that cannot be true because how many strands? I was like, yes, some of us has to have thicker hair, thinner, but 1,000 strands a day is a lot of hair. And
Okay,
you're not
bald
growing
headed.
hair fast.
Come on, bald headed. Come on, bald headed. Come on,
Right,
bald headed.
absolutely. Yeah. So I'm glad you cleared that up because I feel like
Never.
people need to know that. People need to know that that's a myth.
I'm
So
like,
yeah.
what in the? Okay, so now we're ignoring the shedding, right?
Hmm.
So when you ignore shedding, what happens to your hair? You get
Uh
thinning,
yeah,
thinning,
thinning,
thinning. And then we
falling
start
out.
saying, oh, that's hereditary. You know, my family is thinning. It's because of this. It's because of my thyroid. It's because of my age. It's because what my
Mm.
doctor said, the doctor that knows nothing about hair and scalp disorders said that your hair, yeah, it's going to lose hair. It's going to lose that, but not from the medicine you're taking.
Mm.
You're just losing like out. Your thyroid is making you lose hair, not the medicine you're taking for the thyroid.
Right.
Okay, so then we have that. So then we have thinning, right? So now we then made all these excuses to why we're thinning. Now we have baldness.
Mm.
We're bald. We don't have our hair
Yeah.
because we've ignored. That's how our hair is not going to be like, hey, what's up? You know, that rubber band's too tight. Hey, what's up? You know, my scalp is dry. Hey, what's up? I need you to lose. You know, it's not gonna, it doesn't talk. So it's like
Right.
our body. Our body speaks through us through pain. If our
Absolutely.
body don't tell us we're hurting or we need nourishment or we need a balance, how do we know? That's how our body gives. But we, for some
Mm.
reason, we ignore our hair. We also ignore and disassociate scalp from skin. So scalp is skin. So scalp has to be exfoliated. Scalp has to be stimulated. Your scalp has to be nourished really before your hair so healthy hair can grow out of it.
Absolutely. Yes.
And we
I'm,
ignore that. And
I'm
so
so glad you
so
spoke on that. Yeah.
yeah, so think about so a lot of times we have hair, you know, under that and wants to come out, wants to breathe, but
Right.
we're applying all these products that's like holding it back. It's not
Mm.
breathing, it can't be. So we can have hair under there that's trying to grow, but it's not. It's in this dormant stage because of what we're doing to it.
You know what? I think this is what people need to hear, particularly with Black women, because we grew up, and I think, like we talked about before, most of us grew up getting relaxers, perms, all those things that damn it, putting braids in our hair too tight, all this stuff. So now a lot of us now, even wigs too, a lot of us are suffering now, and a lot of women have alopecia or traction alopecia brought on by all the manipulation that they've been doing. And like you just said, for so long, we just thought, well, I'm getting older, it's hereditary, but we don't really realize that we've actually done this to ourselves.
We've
But
contributed to it. Yes,
absolutely. Is there?
So think of it like this too. So diabetes is hereditary also, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we can do preventive things to counteract that. We can exercise and we can eat better to where and watch our weight so that maybe we don't get it past, get the hereditary from
Exactly.
diabetes. The same with hair. It all starts with your daily routine.
How
And
do
men and
people
women.
do that? How do people who have experienced those issues, or they're seeing thinning hair, or they're completely bald now, what do they do about that? What would you tell a person, a woman or man who's suffering from alopecia or traction alopecia, or their hair thinning or falling out? What would you tell them to do right now to get back on track?
So one of the things you have to do is you have to have a mindset. One of the things that society has us on is like everything can be changed overnight. If you
Mm-hmm.
didn't get something overnight, it cannot be changed overnight. So it's a big myth to where I'm in groups on Facebook and groups, and they're like, what's a quick way to grow my hair? There's no quick way to grow hair. Is it a quick way to lose weight? No. Is it a quick way to gain weight? Probably faster than losing
Yeah,
it.
it is. Oh, I know about that. Crispy
Like that. Wait, the gorilla do girl. It's a quick way to get it.
Exactly. See what happened to her?
And it ain't no quick way to get that hair back.
Yeah.
You got quick. So you have to think of it that way. Like, yes, you can get to bald headed real quick. Okay.
Right. It's gonna take a little bit longer to grow it back.
Yeah,
that is hilarious.
When you grow your hair overnight, who grew their hair overnight? And I've been in this industry for over 20 years. And it makes me sad. What made me sad before, now we have all of these Black Girl Magic girls showing how wonderful our hair and how versatile it is.
Mm-hmm.
But it did make me sad to where even in my family, thinking my relatives have to go around with the itty bitty piggy tail and not have a ponytail and not listening. And the not listening is because they don't believe. So that's why I was saying it starts here first in the head. But if you ain't never seen it, how do you think? So you're not gonna listen to me. You're gonna listen to the person next to you saying, girl, I can do this in a fast way. All you gotta do is just do. We know we could grow our hair down to our butt, but it could be this thin as a strand. You know, it cannot be healthy. It's not going to be what you want. So you're going to end up wasting all that time growing and still be bald headed.
Exactly. So what would you tell someone to realistically expect when they are trying to grow their hair and doing say you tell them everything that they need to do? How long would you tell them realistically, sis? This is how much time you are looking at to actually see healthy growth.
So on average, our hair grows a half an inch a month. That's 6 inches a year. Okay. So that's how you tell too. Pictures are the bomb because it is a fact. If you consistently are getting healthy, my train is moving a little slow right now.
No, you're
healthy, what is that, in between styles? What do we call them? You know, healthy,
like new growth.
No. Healthy styles, like when you're getting hair added.
Protective stylists.
Yeah, healthy protective styles. So if you're getting healthy protective styles, your hair should be growing a half an inch, or on average a half an inch. It can grow more depending on who you are in genetics. We're not gonna front, because you know we come from different genetics, but on average it should be growing a half an inch a month, and that is 6 inches a year. But let me tell you what you do. This is why I said healthy with protective styles, because as soon as it grows, the people that's taking that hair out, it's shedding. It'll come right out if you are not taking it out correctly.
Okay. How
When
do you
I take
how do you
care,
take your hair out correctly?
when I there it's not a quick thing. You have to be like, so think about taking hair out with the comb. If you're taking like them little braids with the comb, then you are picking it. You're creating split ends. So you have
Oh,
to exactly. What I do is I turn the braid over from the way that it's braided and then just take it out. And you have to take your time. You have to take. That's one of my tutorials. One of the things that I teach women. Like they're like, "Oh, Tiffany, I can't do my job." All I'm doing, one of the techniques that I do is taking time. That's all I do, girl, is take
being
my
gentle. Yeah.
time. It's taking your time. And we used to do that. We used to was taught that. Remember when we were younger and an auntie, a grandmother, a mom would be like, I can't go nowhere because I'm doing my hair this weekend. Not
Yeah.
today, this weekend. We do our hair in hours. But
Yeah.
back in the day, it'd be like, I'm doing my hair this weekend. We would
Exactly.
put that energy to love on our hair and to, put the time and the energy. And I just hate to wear, because hair is self-care. Hair is an esteem. And I
It
hate
is.
when we just um get set on to this instant stuff. And I know some of us need it because I use sometimes. But you still want to be able, if you go to my pictures and see my afro, I'm not ashamed of my afro. I'm not
Mhm.
ashamed of my healthy TWA. I'm not ashamed. You know what I mean? I will rock all of that because it's healthy and it's good. And I know I take care of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. It's not,
It's
I'm being forced into having to do this. It's a choice. And that's the difference. And I remember when I got started in the shop early on, it was this one lady. She was so gorgeous. And so the stylist with the owner would do her hair in the office. And she was like just so meek. And I was like, why are you doing her hair in the office? She didn't have no hair. She had lost her
mm,
hair. And back in the day, because we were taught to appreciate our hair and it was like a
wow.
beauty
Yeah.
mark and stuff, to not have it and to be married, that was like a curse.
Yeah.
Like to not have hair and to not, and being ashamed of it and stuff like that. Because it could have been for any reason, but I just felt her pain, and I was like,
Mm,
I want to give that to us to teach us how not to be here if we can help it. Because you do
absolutely.
have certain diseases, certain things that you can't help. But if you can, appreciate it. Don't be the cause of it. Don't, you know, don't be the reason we not taking care of our hair.
Exactly. I'm glad you
Like,
talked
don't
about like mhm.
go ahead, go ahead. You gonna talk about what?
I was gonna say I'm glad you talked about like the shame that's attached to hair loss too, because one of the things I really want to talk to you about is like edges and how
Right.
like edges right now it's a cultural tagline, it's a joke. If you want to get at somebody, oh girl, that's why you ain't got no edges, things like that. But and
Right.
like men and women have been dragged and are ashamed of it. For those who are suffering with hair loss or specifically with the edges, what are preventative and restorative measures that they can take to grow them back or to not lose them at all?
Definitely tension. And do you know the average of when women lose their hair, their
The,
edges?
the average
Between the
age?
ages of 0 to 12 months. Who's doing your hair at 0 to 12 months?
Your mama pulling on your, yeah. I mean, it makes sense. It really does
And
make
just
sense. Yeah.
not knowing. That is the
Wow.
that is the number one, 0 to 12 months.
And you know what's interesting about that? When Beyonce was leaving Blue Ivy's hair alone, everybody had an
Right.
issue with it. But her hair is
Everybody
flourishing
was
now.
talking about her.
Exactly.
Everybody was, and that's how it's supposed to be.
It's
But
supposed to be like that.
we get shamed and criticized. And then let's say that we do. The bad part is that we care. So
Mm-hmm.
what
Yeah.
somebody else say? When you know what you're doing, you know what I mean? You don't gotta listen. We don't owe nobody no apology but
At all.
ourselves.
At all. Absolutely.
And I have to say, I hate when I be seeing celebrities coming apologizing for what they do, from staying with their cheat. Man, I was like, I wish I would
Right. Never that. Right. I'm who I am. That's it. That's
apologize
all.
for what I do in my business.
Right. Yeah. Never
And
gonna
I am
happen.
here. I'm like,
Absolutely. Yeah, like
I wish,
apologizing for what? No, not gonna do
for
that.
what?
Yeah,
For who? You don't owe
exactly.
nobody no apology.
No, you don't. So you would
And
say,
so we have
mhm.
to, and when I see that, when I because I hate seeing that because I feel like, and I associate everything to hair. I'd be like, see, that's why we don't like our hair.
Right.
We're gonna be apologizing for the texture of our hair. We're gonna be wearing the style this way. See, because uh,
So speaking of apologizing for like your hair and everything,
right.
well actually hold on, I want to make sure I let you finish with the edges, like the
Oh yeah,
restorative
yeah.
and
Okay, so
preventive methods.
so edges. So one of the things that you have to do, okay, to grow your edges back today is start stimulating.
Okay.
Stimulating. So one of the sick things that was going around, people were talking about were Vicks vapor rubs that was growing people's edges back. I don't know if you heard that little trend, that little challenge, Vicks vapor rub. So the thing about it is, I doubt it is the Vicks vapor rub.
Hmm.
What I know it is because anytime you go from not catering to something to catering to it, you're going to get something out of it. Like if
Gotcha.
you've never watered your plant and you start watering your plant, you're probably going to get it to
Because
grow.
right,
So
it's gonna come alive again. Right.
it's going to be
Just
happy.
like
It's
your
going to thank
edges.
you. Okay. It's going to thank
Right.
you. So the same with hair and edges. If you start giving it attention and you see something going on, it's because you started giving it attention. It's not
Absolutely.
necessarily no goddamn Vicks vapor rub.
What about monostat too? I've been hearing that
Right.
monostat
That
works.
kind of, I'm like, well, definitely they are stimulant. I bet you they is on there every day.
Right.
To where at first they wasn't doing that. You know what they was doing? They was putting them braids in and stuff in and just letting it permanent styles. Another thing we have to get out of. A style is not meant to be permanent. Don't
Mm,
go to somebody talking about, oh yeah, because I need this to last. Our hair is supposed to be stimulated. Our hair is supposed to be exfoliated. Our hair is
mm.
supposed to be brushed and catered to. It's not supposed to be, we ain't statues.
It's not supposed to just stick there forever.
Gorilla glue girl.
I was gonna say it, but then I didn't want to say it. But yeah, it's just what do you make of that whole situation with Gorilla Glue Girl or
We still have a
Jessica
long way
Brown?
to come. We still have a long way to go. And we
Yeah.
still have to get out of certain mindsets. We still have to get out of mindsets that don't serve us. We still have to, we still have just a long way to go. It don't matter how far you, what we take 2 steps forward, 1 step back. We still have a long way to go.
Mm. Speaking of, I'm glad you said that about having a long way to go in the mindset because I think the mindset of going natural for some people. I'm natural too under
Yes,
this
yes.
wig,
Right, right,
but
yes,
I'm
yes, yes.
natural too, and I wear my natural
Right.
hair out often too. But I've been natural for like 10 years now, and
Mhm.
I didn't have you around. I wish I would have known about you when I was doing natural
Right,
hair
right,
because I made some mistakes, still making them and trying to get myself better. But
right.
the biggest thing that I hear from Black women, which hurts my feelings, is natural don't look good on everybody, or I don't want to go natural because it's too difficult, or girl, I don't want to do this because A, B, C, and D. What advice would you give someone, a Black woman who is thinking about it or has not thought about it, or her misconceptions around going natural? What would you tell her to advise her is the best for her?
Definitely it is a self-love because I think the opposite. I think we look amazing in our natural
Mhm.
hair, and I don't think some of our features go with the straight hair. I don't think those looks serve us. And it definitely is an inside thing. It definitely is, and um it goes back to when people you do give them a style, and then we make jokes. We teased about this. We would tease about this. Hey, I did her hair like this, but she ain't Holly Berry. She can't. I mean, we
Mm,
tear each other down.
we do.
We do. We are hard on ourselves. I remember growing up with brothers telling me I was in the wrong line when God was giving out hair.
Oh man.
And it was funny. And it was. And we would rag on each other. It is. But we play, but we don't realize that sometimes that's how we feel. You know what I mean? So you definitely have to get to a place where you don't care. And anybody that knows me, like Tiffany, you don't care. I do not care. And I have been like that for a long time. I do not care. But one of the things I will say that really hurts my heart is not even us. I don't like, and you have to help me, when an experienced person is ignored about hair and an unexperienced person is not. When a
Yeah.
person can create a product and know they're going to sell because they have that platform just to sell, and then you ignore a person that has the experience that can help.
So like
But you already know all
yeah.
of them. All of them.
Yeah.
And they my favorites. It is. It just sucks. I'm like, go sit down.
Yeah. The misinformation and I guess a bit of like clout chasing too, and some people knowing that if they hit on certain things that they know people are desperate about, then they'll get the
Right.
views and the engagement and the money from that too.
And it's not fair. It's so not fair. It's not fair because you wouldn't want me doing that in your industry. You wouldn't want me disrespecting your channel. You wouldn't, and it's so just not cool.
Yeah.
It's not cool. It's like, and we, because we're such influential people, we go and just like the sheep and
Yeah.
follow, you know,
Yeah. And it's
that's
so
just what we
damaging.
do.
Yeah.
It's so damaging, and
Yeah.
they do not care. I always used to be like, how can you have a color commercial about hair color and that's not even a person's hair? Like Beyonce.
Right.
Beyonce have advertised with, I'm like, that ain't even your hair.
Yeah.
Beyonce never advertised or promote her natural hair.
Yeah. Never. Absolutely. So yeah, it's I was gonna ask you about that too, about like the emergence of influencers and them really influencing and impacting people pretty much in the wrong way, or or so that they can sell products that really aren't helping people at all, but they're selling it and selling like a little jar for $20 and it's doing nothing
Oh,
but
out
people.
by and
Yeah.
no, what, and not just that, but we'll follow someone like you that and go repeat what you say, but don't tag you. Don't, none of that kind of stuff. Don't
Oh.
they hear you, they hear your word, like you don't know this.
Yeah. Right. You haven't studied. You studied my channel and then went and did your own. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And
That's
I won't even say mine, but other, like, that's not, because just like the other people, and it took me so long to get on YouTube because I could not believe that's where people were going to for hair advice. It took me so long until one of my friends, they were like, Tiffany, when people don't know, we're desperate. That's why we go. That's what made me kind of change my mindset. And
okay.
then yes, and then it took it just is, and I'm like, these people really will. And then even with the hairstylist disappoint me too.
Okay.
They disappoint me with not getting informed. And I remember this one client in my book. I have a book. All of my products I do have to show you. Go with my products there.
There we go. I definitely want to talk about your products too.
Who's doing this?
And you know what? That's one thing too that I have to talk to you about because I was reading about the hair box therapy, but I wanted you to go ahead and finish this point too. But I'm really excited.
So let me tell you this. Therapy. So the thing about it with the hairstylist is that this one hairstylist, one of the models in my book, she literally, like, you could see somebody told her to grow her hair had been like alopecia for years. She was getting married. She was in her early 40s, didn't know why it was thinning or doing this, right? Somebody literally told her, yeah, grease and water. Now you can see that this is out of a grease and water scope. This is beyond a grease and water scope. That's
Yeah.
like a rash. Like, you take him to a rash. Oh yeah, girl, just no. This is an infection.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Do you know the difference between a rash and an infection?
Exactly. Like what
This is infected.
right.
You gotta treat infections and rashes different. Do you not?
Absolutely.
Okay. So with hair, you can see, but she like with no skill, no experience behind it, no anything, but because you're a cosmetologist, it's beyond your scope. That's the information. Instead of saying, this is out of my scope, you should go look into this. Should go, even dermatologists. Let's take it there. Dermatologists are doctors, right?
Right.
They're skin doctors. That means they treat topical stuff, funguses, stuff that they do not treat hair.
Right.
They cannot tell you how to grow your hair back
At all. Right. I'm so glad. Like, I really feel like you're giving people so much education and information because I mean, the internet, any social media is saturated with people saying one thing or next or another, but you've actually studied this. So you know how to tell people the truth of what they need to do to really, realistically, if you can grow back your edges or not, or what you should be doing with your hair and why chemicals are so dangerous for you. So I'm so appreciative that you are even here talking with us. And I hear that, girl. This is so amazing. I have got to ask you about your new product, the hair box therapy, which you released on February 12th this year. Tell us what's in this box and what customers can expect from the hair therapy box.
Okay. So in my hair therapy box, okay, so because I have studied, okay, look at, so let me share the book. So the book, I came out with the book a couple years ago. So this is my vision, okay. So I never ever was trying to be an author or
Mhm.
even a spokesperson for hair. But when I seen, I was like, how can I reach women like the lady that was experiencing in the room by herself, because
Right.
she was bald? How can I reach more women to prevent this? Because I know she's not the only person going through this. And it's all about preventive. How can it's like a exercise trainer, like a nutritionist? How can we prevent diseases? How can we prevent? So that's how I am with hair. Like I am a doctor when it comes to like, how can we prevent this? How can we feel
Absolutely.
good about ourselves? Because we do use our hair to feel good about ourselves.
We do.
We
We really
take
do.
our
Yeah.
anger out on our hair. We take our frustration out on our hair. We take change out on our hair. Because you know why? Because that's the fastest thing that we can change on our bodies when it really should be in here. That's why I say
Mm.
it starts from in here. It should really be from the inside out, not from the outside in.
Wow. That makes sense with
That's
women who go through things and they cut off all of their hair.
whenever we go through stuff. And one of the things too with me that I always been against is I don't cut your hair if you've experienced death or
Okay.
something, because it definitely is out of you're not even associating it to why you want to do this. That's why divorce, it's like a letting go thing. But why do you want
Yeah.
to let go of your hair? Other stuff that you could let go. Like that man, what does your hair do?
Right.
Right. And as a stylist, I'm like, you is not gonna just mess up my project.
Absolutely. Like, girl, no, we've been working too hard on this. Yeah.
If you don't
That
go
makes
put on
sense.
a wig. And no, one of the things is because I just know it, I don't cut it because I just know it takes a long time to get it back.
Mhm.
It's not impossible. I'm not emotionally attached to hair. It come and go, but it does, sometimes you're like, oh, I want my hair back. Oh, I miss my hair. You gotta be ready. And when you are ready, you're ready.
Right.
And then you could
Absolutely.
let it go. But I do know we do that. It's emotional. It's emotional based. We get so mad. So I came out with the book first,
Okay.
thinking, yes, people need the book. Okay. And I mentioned my trichology products they're not mine, but it's a brand that I kind of partnered with to ask permission if I could share, because they were the ones that helped me with my testimonial in here with the clients in here bring their hair back. And so
Okay.
they agreed and stuff, but always, so my product has been in the making, just like this book, years. Because I was like, I have to do it, but I don't have time. But I was like, I have to let these people know what to do, where it's coming from, get rid of that mentality that has been
Absolutely.
instilled with us. We gotta get rid of it. We gotta be, you know. So then the product that I have been working on was a moisturizer.
Okay.
My moisturizer, okay, which I love, is 4 natural ingredients.
So only four
Okay,
natural ingredients. Okay.
4 natural ingredients. One of the ingredients a lot of people don't know. So we know about the shea butter, and we know about the cocoa butter, but a
Right.
lot of people don't know about the cocoa butter.
Okay. Now what's that for?
It's another seed. It's from a seed. It comes from another seed. Cocoa butter is a richer butter.
Okay.
It's a butter that you can substitute lanolin for. So, are you familiar with lanolin? Lanolin
No,
comes from
I don't know what that is.
sheepskin. So a lot of peeping about peepings.
Listen, we can rock with it.
A lot of peepings. A lot of people that have transitioned from not associating with meats and dairy and stuff, they don't really want to use products that have those things in them either.
Right.
So cocoa butter is a butter that you can substitute lanolin for, because lanolin also is natural, but where it comes from, it still comes from an animal skin.
Right.
That's what lanolin is. So it's like it creates I don't want to say sticky, but like an elasticity to it
Okay.
that allows that penetrates in the hair, like still smooth enough to penetrate into the hair, but that smooths it down, that smooths that cuticle down. Like if
Oh,
you go onto my I actually have it, and if you go onto my Instagram and also into my I have 2 videos with it using the product. And one of the secrets that I do not tell you guys, that I do not do, and I use straight this product, I only shampoo with a clarifying shampoo. Do not condition and put this in without conditioner. So you even know it's not no conditioner. It's only one clarifying shampoo that's getting all the, and I'm only using the clarifying shampoo in this moisturizer.
okay.
And
Tell
that is a
tell people they need to
secret.
add it to their routine.
That's a secret that people that they don't even know. Because you have to
Yeah.
get it clean, get everything all out, and then you use the moisturizer. And anything, a moisturizer can condition the hair too without you using a conditioner that you have to rinse out.
Okay. Free game, everybody.
We
Okay.
gave another thing I do have to touch on, co-washing. So I used to have to school a lot of people on co-washing because they would say, yeah, I co-wash in the middle of the week and co-wash. So washing, washing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you rinse something out, it's gone. You're rinsing it out. So you could co-wash all the time. The benefits are gone when you rinse it out.
Right.
So you don't need to, those are all the myths. It's no such thing as co-washing. So even companies making, co-wash treatments,
Ooh.
just piggybacking off of stuff that we say with no information, no experience. Yeah, I got a new co-washing treatment.
So co-washing is a myth.
It's no, when you rinse the product out, it's gone. So let's answer this. When you leave the shampoo in your hair, if you just leave the shampoo, is it gonna stay clean?
Absolutely not.
So let's just leave shampoo in the hair then, and we never have to wash again, right?
Right. Like, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. And so
No,
these companies are just technically making money off of a product that you really don't
off of
even need.
what people are saying, because everybody know in marketing, the easiest, fastest way to do something sells. And the co-wash, that's heck easy. Oh, you have to co-wash. I ain't gotta wash my hair, but I'll just co-wash.
Wow. Yeah.
That's easy, fast, and it sounds good.
Wow. People have been making money for years, thinking too, like, because up until literally just this very moment, I thought co-washing was a thing.
On top of, so by the time, here's the thing, why I had to create the book too, and my products. By the time the people come to me, they don't believe. They think I'm the person lying to them.
Yeah.
After they done listen to all the celebrities lie to them with their products, by the time they come to me. And so for me, I created a universal product. I'm not gonna front. Like the celebrity products probably do work for certain kinds of hair, not for every kind of hair. Like mixed chicks is perfectly for mixed chicks. So then they can also say, well, it's for mixed chicks kind of hair. Then you could say, well, it's for my kind of pattern hair.
Right.
It so ain't for everybody.
Right.
But you want everybody's money.
Right. Selling dreams to people who it's
and that's in here. I have the counterfeit stylist. I have how they lie about all of it.
So you're giving away the good information about like how not to get scammed.
All the secrets I'm giving away. You have to decide what kind of stylist you want to be or you're gonna be before you start doing hair. If you're just gonna be a money stylist or taking people's money, or if you really care about, so take for instance, I could be a gazillionaire right now. All I gotta do is start doing lace fronts. You know why I don't do lace fronts?
Why?
I haven't found and I like lace fronts. They be bomb. I haven't found a safe way to do lace fronts. I haven't found a way that is not gonna be, you know what I mean? That's not gonna not be a good end result.
Yeah, because eventually, eventually,
that's just
all of that will pull your hair out. Yeah,
all of it, it. Yeah, and so I have it, and it do transform, and I don't know why everybody wants to look the same.
Yeah. Well, it's the culture, I guess, that we live in. So yeah.
Girl.
Absolutely. It's the culture. So with
we all beautiful. We don't all literally look alike. Okay. So now I talked to you about my butter, my butter. Okay? Now I want to talk to you about my oils.
Okay. Yes. Let's get into the oils.
So the avocado oil, we're kind of familiar with what it does. We know what it does.
Well, like let's tell the people though too, like what's the significance of avocado oil, particularly when it comes to hair?
Oh, it does repair. So okay, so oils. Here, let's get into your the oils. Oils are grease and oil. Okay, so grease is oils were designed to make the hair shine. That's why people wanted to use oils, right?
Right.
There's certain oils that we benefit from the hair. So oils were meant to go on top of the hair. The reason grease, you don't want to put grease on top of the hair because the molecule in grease is too big. It's like, it's like oil and water. So when you put oil in water, you see how those bubbles sits on top of the water?
Right.
It's too big to penetrate. So it sits on top of the hair. That's why oils are for sheen.
Got it. Okay.
Because it sits on top of the hair. It doesn't penetrate.
That breakdown right there is what we need to know. Like, it's honestly,
it does not. It sits on top of the hair. So that's why, and for our curly texture hair, that's what makes it different. Like the cream base is the moisturizer because it penetrates into the hair cuticle. And that's what creates the difference. That's how you get moisture. That's how you prevent dryness. You want it to penetrate.
Right.
And so then we were taught that you spray the hair or wet the brush and then put the grease. thinking, because you know what that created? That's created like a silicone base. It made it think it was going into the hair, but it's really not.
Okay.
Okay. So then you have your finer oils. You have some oils. You have like your avocado oil, your olive oil. They are good because they're fine enough. You see how fine they are to penetrate into the hair shaft.
Okay.
That's why it doesn't sit on top. It can actually penetrate, but it's still for the scalp.
Right. Okay.
So your avocado oil, it repairs the damage on the scalp. It locks in your moisture into the your hair cells, nourishes hair cells, strengthens hair root, shaft strand, all of that. That's what avocado oil does, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Definitely need that. Right.
All that, yes, all that stuff is really good. Okay. That's what you want to use on your edges and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Here is the gem that I'm giving you.
Okay. Come through with these gems for the hair.
Watercress oil. So what you know about watercress oil?
I don't know a thing. And when I was reading your hair therapy box, I was like, what is watercress oil? And I cannot wait to
What you
talk
know
to
about that? What you know about avocado? I mean watercress oil.
not a
Nobody.
thing.
And
I
so
need you to tell
take
us.
note. I'm probably the first one on. I hear that, girl.
Yes.
The first one that is coming with. So I haven't shared my olive because I'm about to do a tutorial for watercress oil because I do have to
Okay.
share the benefits when I do on the it is in the box, but I do have to do like a little information on my Instagram to share with you about watercress oil. Okay, so
Okay.
watercress oil treats damage and prevents hair loss. Okay, so this is a thing that people do not know that is very significant to hair loss. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
that
We need to know.
the doctors will not tell you, and the dermatologist will not tell you. I do not know why. Okay. We as women, as we get older, our
Mm-hmm.
pH level is thrown off. Our pH level can be thrown off by our environment, meaning products we use, meaning body washes, soaps. Like body washes can give us BV, that's bacteria
That's
vaginosis.
absolutely
Okay.
true. Yes.
Okay. So when you have to take stuff or natural stuff to bring your pH level back down, you also can purchase pH strips too to test your pH level. Those, a lot of times when we're taking medicines or we're getting older or we don't know if people smoke, what people are doing or being honest with, or why they are outside of the natural realm that's going to take place as we get older anyway.
Right.
Birth controls, all of those kinds of things throw off your pH level that can cause your hair to become bald, thinning, shedding, alopecia,
Mm.
all of that kind of stuff. So it don't matter if you take a vitamin, you have to recognize when your hair starts itching. So remember I told you scalp with skin? If
Yep.
you had a rash on your arm and you keep scratching it, right? What are you going to do? You're going to
It,
see why you keep itching. You're
exactly.
supposed to do the same thing with your hair because scalp is skin. Scalp does not, skin does not itch for no reason.
Absolutely. And neither does
Period.
yourself. Right.
Neither does your scalp. My hair never itches. If it itches one time, I'll be like, oh, it itched. Oh, let me get that. If it itches, I'll be like, oh, I'm checking hairpins, I'm checking rubber bands, I'm checking braids, I'm pulling I'm checking.
Yeah. Like, what's
I'm
the
taking
problem?
wigs off, I'm taking hats off, I'm taking wigs, hats off. I'm checking.
Absolutely. Because there has to be a problem.
So with the watercress oil, you also can digest avocado oil and but this is like directly on the hair because I cook with avocado oil.
Right.
You can digest it and ingest it, vice versa. So treats dandruff, prevents hair loss. Look at this benefits. Enhances hormonal balance and performance. It indirectly encourages hair growth and healthy skin.
Okay, then. So you coming through with the secrets in your therapy box about ladies. This is how you can go through these preventative and restorative measures Get your hair back on your head, pretty much.
To bring that pH level. Shampoos, perms. That's one of the things that relaxers, that your pH level is only supposed to go so high. The perm takes that pH level to the next, because it's straightening it. And then you have to, that's why the neutralizing shampoo is important.
Right.
Because you've got to bring the pH level back down. That's why the conditionings, the deep conditioning. See, in my book, I talk a lot. I don't just say, I have to explain the why, because when you know the why, you value it more. So like, even I break it down to even shampoo. Why do we shampoo? Why do we condition? Condition doesn't just come after shampoo. It's not just step 2 to bring your pH level back down, because your hair is like,
yeah, it's so
now
important.
we needed to calm it back down, almost like a beating.
Oh my God, not like a beating.
We done beat our hair. Now we
got to calm it down. This is so important to understand.
Now we got to calm it down.
Because we don't know why we like we started out saying, we don't understand why we do these things or whatever, and we never really had someone who is knowledgeable like you and educated like you to sit down and tell us, this is what you should be doing, and this is why you should listen to me, somebody that knows what I'm doing. So yeah,
we don't beat the hell out of our hair. We gotta
bring
it. We gotta, we want to calm down.
So just to wrap this up here, I want to know what type of challenges you have encountered in your career in this space. What are some of the challenges that you've encountered in the natural hair space?
I have encountered the way that I would share, because I'm so passionate about it. I think I probably was angry. Because and instead of crying like LeBron cried, I probably would be like, why do you, because I don't understand why people do it. And then I do understand why they do it. It definitely is a mindset. Like, and we definitely, I was telling somebody in my space the other day, I said, they were saying it was a story about a Black person killing somebody, and he would walk down the street. And because we're desensitized to our Black people, right? Walking down the street, we're not scared. We would not have thought that, right? But the other white person is scared, right? But I know when I go to the Berkeley Library and I see them crazy white people doing all that crazy stuff, the white people are not scared, but guess who's scared? I'm scared of them. But I'm not scared of my own people crazy. But I am scared of their crazy.
Right.
And it's so sad to admit that. You know what I mean? It's sad to be like, it's unacceptable, but I get it. You know what I mean? And so what stuff that I don't get, why anybody would not support, and I don't understand it. Like I said, I told you about the celebrities. I don't know how why they would do that,
Yeah.
And but as I've gotten older and knowing that people are people, right? Like more people, and especially celebrities. Celebrities are regular people too. And when you see them in a movie, you be so fascinated. But then when you hear them talk, that fascination goes away.
Or see them in real life, you're like,
when you hear them in real time, you're like, oh, they was acting for real.
Right. Like, oh, well, there goes my fantasy. Right. Yeah, I understand that.
Where you don't even want to see that movie no more. You're like, oh, no.
Okay.
When you see them in real time, you're like, oh my God. So to me, I respect the quiet celebrities.
Right. Let's keep the mystery. Okay. I don't need to know.
If you don't know, be quiet.
Absolutely. So one last thing, because we love to really push out and tell Black women about how amazing it is to be an entrepreneur, but there are also some issues too. What kind of, I guess, what has been some of your biggest challenges as a Black female business owner?
I can't say support because I have to be honest to say, like, literally, Black people do support my business. I can
Mhm.
count on my hand being in business over 20 years and how many non-Black people can has supported me. So I am big on, like, the Black community is what helps me provide for my children. And
Mhm.
without them, I know that I would be nowhere. And one of the things that you do get that doesn't cost, you'd be like, well, just like my page, that's free. And then you don't understand because it has taken a turn. You know, it's different. You don't understand why they won't do that. But
Mhm.
then now we've learned because I think with them it's always something else when it comes to social media because even the like was enough. Remember the like was good, right?
Right.
Now you actually need them to comment. The comments is more important than the likes. So
It
I
is.
think because even for me, I'm like, dang, I just got the hang of this.
Right. What else y'all want
Dang.
me to do?
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. And so I can see, and so I think for Black people, you know how we are. We are minimalists in a certain degree. We like
Mhm.
we already supporting you in this way. We don't want more work because we got stuff to do too. And
Right.
another thing you have to understand, just like with me, they have to know why. You know what I mean? I'm steady telling my mom the reason why you have to catch up in time. You want some money, right? You better get a phone so you can get cash out
It-
because
exactly.
we can't come outside no more.
Right. Yeah.
And I'm not about to be running back and forth to Walmart
Absolutely. Right.
and
I'm
going
sending
to
things
another city to bring you some money. So you better step up, lady.
exactly.
You want this money. You want your hair.
Okay.
You want your hair to grow.
So I want you to tell people where they can find you, where they can go and purchase your books, and where they can go and get the products, and how they can just learn more information about you. Where do people go?
Definitely follow me on my IGs. I have several IGs. I also write children's books to build up self-esteem with hair. I have a little cartoon that's derived from one of my children's books. I am Tiffany Anderson is my personal page. Tiffany's
Okay.
Natural is my business page. And also I Love My Natural Hair Kids is my book page for my children's book. You can find me on Facebook under Tiffany Anderson or Tiffany's Natural. My Twitter is Tiffany's Natural. You can purchase my products through my Instagram or my Facebook platform, or you could go straight on my website, which is www.tiffany'snatural.com,
That
or
is so.
DM me or hit me. I am here for information, anything you want to know about hair. I love giving real time advice. I'm not
Mm.
going to shoot you no bull. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not going to tell you if something can be that cannot be. That's not what I do. That's not what has sustained me. That's not what I'm about. I'm not here to sell dreams. I am here to um, um, help hair grow, help us learn more, know more, build more. I'm not going to say a product works if it don't work.
Absolutely. And
I will not
I think
ever.
you're what this you are what the industry needs. Like conscious, ethical people who really just want to help other people out instead
Right,
of feeding
right,
people dreams or giving them products
right.
that's not going to work for them. This is why we need Tiffany Andersons of the world to help out and tell people what they should be doing. And this has been the most informed, the most like you've given me so many gems just sitting here. And I'm so appreciative that our audience gets an opportunity to really hear what can really work for them. It's so many women and men, but particularly women that are suffering from all types of issues with our hair. And I'm glad that you were the one to give them the right information.
I appreciate you for allowing me on your platform to share. I hope people really hear what I'm saying. I really hope they hear that girl and really get
Yeah.
on get on the roller coaster. I would love to share with you some more and to take questions. If anybody have questions, I will share with you questions if they have. And just, I'm here for you. I want you to have the hair of your dreams. But with having the hair of your dreams, you have to have the information of your dreams. And you have to love your hair and follow your curls.
Mm-hmm. Perfect advice. Thank you so much, Tiffany, for coming on here. I hear that, girl. We are so appreciative for you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.